My name is Ali Nawaz Memon. I am 70 years old today. Today is September 28, 1941. These bones are 70 years old today. It's hard to believe when you look at machines, even iron machines, they don't last that long. How did I last so long? I never thought I would, especially when I remember my young days. I had very poor health, very bad skin, lot of pimples, teeth which were almost breaking up, body which was so weak that when I was 18 years old, I had an annual checkup. Well, there was no annual checkup, but I had to have checkup because I was coming to America. And the doctor said, Ali, your heart is about 40 years old. And this is when I was 18. So I didn't think I would last too long. But here we are. Alhamdulillah. Today I'm 40 years old. I'm 70 years old. How did I survive so long? I think I must thank the United States for that. When I got here almost 51 years ago, even though I come from a good middle class family in Pakistan and we were never short of food or reasonably good living conditions, but the air, the purity of food, the physical activity, the intellectual stimulation, the hard work at university and life thereafter, somehow it saved me. It has made existence possible and a joy. I come from Sindh. I was born in Chicago. Both of my grandparents were brothers. My dada was a businessman. My nana was a Molvi and also a political figure in Chicago. My father was an advocate by training, a political figure. His name was Abdul Fattah Memon. He established his law practice in Larkana. And when I was 10 years old, we moved to Larkana. He became member of Sindh Assembly. He became ambassador. He was a very well respected, very handsome man. I thank him for borrowing money so that he could send me to United States. I got my education. I was so lucky that I got good jobs which gave me a lot of opportunity and a lot of satisfaction. When I look back, what are some of the other reasons that I'm alive today? I can think of several. I think the most important one, and I really mean this, is blessing of my Creator. I call Allah. You may give him or her different names, but Allah has been very kind to me. On my one time, soon after my marriage, we stopped in Saudi Arabia. We went to Mecca. I asked for two things from my God. The first thing was a short-term objective, and it happened within 2 hours of my dua at Kaaba. The second one was a lifelong dua. It was dua for contentment. I asked my Allah for contentment. And I must say that my God chose to grant it, and I'm eternally thankful to Him. And that has made it possible to survive. Of course, education was very important. I must tell all my friends and listeners, and their children particularly, that paying attention to your education from childhood is a very important thing. First lesson in mathematics or geography or English may not be important, but it is what follows. You build on one step on another. In first Angrezi, in our days, we did 4 Sindhi, and then we came to high school where we did 7 years. In first standard examination, I was number 8 in my class. In second standard, I was number 2. In third standard, Alhamdulillah, I was number 1 in my class. That is a very important thing. It certainly was very important to me. It gave me self-respect. It gave me respect within my class, among my friends, respect from my teachers. All these things were very important in my self-esteem, especially when I was so physically weak, that this love and respect in school not only took me farther in life, but gave me reason to live. Now that education made it possible that I got first class first position in matric in Sydney University. And that was a reason that my father took a chance on me. He borrowed 40,000 rupees from Sindh Cooperative Bank in Larkana in 1960 so that I could come to America. I was lucky. I got good teachers, even though I was in wrong field of study. But I finished my engineering, worked at Motorola, and then got my MBA. Having good teachers was a very important thing. I was so fortunate to have a great teacher in high school. He's still alive, and I'm thankful to him. Sain Madad Ali Kadri. Then in America, I was lucky to have Professor Sioma Cato. He guided me through. I had never heard of the World Bank, even what it was. But he encouraged me to apply. And in 1967, I was able to get into World Bank. That gave me such fun life, traveling all over the world in first class with a great deal of respect, with great deal of learning every time that I went to work and listened to others. So education was very important. I think another thing which is important is happiness at home. I was fortunate to like a girl from childhood, and I was lucky to be able to marry her. So marrying a person that you like is very important. She's almost same age as me, but whenever I wake up in the morning and I look at her, it gives me pleasure. Alhamdulillah. Don't forget that nobody is perfect. Don't expect that you or your wife are going to be perfect. No, we all are human beings. We have many conflicts, many difficulties. Just liking somebody is not enough, but it's a great start. So that was a great fortune which has kept me alive and kept me going. Ambition is good. Ambition for yourself, for your family, for your children, for your community, for mankind, having that is very important. It gives you a reason to get up. I remember as a child on Eid, I got 1 rupee kharchi, Eid kharch, pocket money. And some beggar approached me. He was so sad and he needed the money so much. I gave it all 1 rupee to him. And these kind of things, Alhamdulillah, have stayed with me. In many, many ways, I'm not a good person. I have done many bad things and I continue to do bad things. May Allah forgive me. May Allah put it in hearts of those who I might have hurt, even though I have never tried to hurt anyone by choice. So there are many bad things, but ambition to do good has stayed in my genes. And of course, we have been, as a community, as a country, we have been struggling all these years. In Pakistan, we got independence, but it is in name only. People of Sindh, people of Balochistan, people of frontier, people of Punjab, they sacrificed a lot to get Pakistan, but they did not get even basic food, basic housing, or clothing on their back. We continue to be among the poorest and most deprived people in the world. Of course, there are some who have too much, but I'm talking about the masses. I'm at least talking about half of the people. Even right now, the people who are suffering from floods in Pakistan are suffering so much. So this desire to help, even though inadequate as it has been, it is good. It is good to keep you going. It will make you live longer.